When venture capitalists look for industries ripe for massive digital consolidation, they automatically flock to traditional sectors like real estate, finance, or logistics. They focus on spaces that already speak the corporate language of optimization, software metrics, and predictable recurring revenue. But while the tech elite has been busy fighting over the same crowded software spaces, one of the fastest-growing, highest-margin consumer markets on the planet has spent the last century hiding completely in plain sight. It is the global tattoo industry. The global tattoo market is currently sitting at a valuation of over $2.6 billion, and it is maintaining a compounding annual growth rate of roughly 9.9 to 10.6%, tracking on a direct trajectory to eclipse $5.9 billion over the next decade. This explosive trajectory isn't just a temporary cultural phase. It is a massive cross-demographic shift in consumer behavior. In the United States alone, over 32% of the entire adult population and nearly 46% of individuals under the age of 40 now carry permanent body art. It is no longer a fringe subculture. It has evolved into a standard, premium lifestyle market where consumers routinely pay hundreds of dollars an hour for professional-grade design execution. Alongside healthcare and funeral services, it is widely cited by financial analysts as one of the most recession-proof industries in existence. Yet, despite generating billions of dollars in highly recurring transaction volume across more than 60,000 licensed brick-and-mortar establishments worldwide, the underlying economics of this industry remain deeply, fundamentally broken. The global tattoo marketplace is one of the most intensely fragmented, operationally manual consumer environments left in the modern economy. There are no dominant global network platforms. There are no unified ecosystem standards. More than 90% of the entire industry operates as independent, isolated mom-and-pop street shops, relying on a chaotic mix of manual paper calendars, disconnected social media direct messages for client intake, and zero centralized technical tools to structure their design workflow. For an industry experiencing hypergrowth, it is a market screaming for a unified, modern infrastructure to bring order to the chaos. To understand how an investment opportunity of this scale survived without a major digital platform consolidation, you have to look at where the financial flow of the trade originally came from. For decades, tattooing operated entirely as a cash-heavy subterranean economy. Independent artists ran their studios like medieval guilds, passing down proprietary techniques through insular apprentice models. The capital flow was entirely localized, erratic, and deeply protective of its privacy. Because the mainstream financial sector historically labeled body art as a risky, countercultural novelty, tattoo studios were systematically denied standard enterprise tools, point-of-sale innovations, and institutional venture capital backing. But over the last few years, a massive structural dam broke. The explosive demand from a younger demographic completely transformed body art into a core pillar of personal identity expression, on cosmetic enhancement and medical camouflage. This cultural surge has caught the immediate attention of major venture firms and executive tech founders. This realization is exactly why stealth automation startups out of tech hubs like Austin, Texas, have raised millions in capital to launch robotic, medical-grade hardware devices, aiming to turn the execution layer into an automated royalty machine. Silicon Valley has officially realized that the tattoo space represents one of the final, unmonetized frontiers of premium consumer transactional data on Earth. The sudden arrival of big tech capital, however, highlights the deep systemic vulnerability that every investor faces when entering this space: the massive professionalization gap between raw technology and the operational reality. Building an expensive robotic arm or creating a flashy web marketplace doesn't solve the core bottleneck that limits the daily revenue of the independent artist. The real friction inside this multi-billion-dollar market isn't that artists need a machine to pull lines for them. It's that the actual planning phase of the tattoo remains incredibly inefficient, unstandardized, and vulnerable to human error. When an artist prepares a large-scale project today, they spend hours manually mocking up layouts, guessing line weight distributions on curved body frames, and dealing with client communication back and forth. If a stencil distorts during application, or if the initial design composition fails to account for the complex contours of human anatomy, the session experiences severe delays. Time is lost, and the shop's earning potential hits an operational ceiling. Furthermore, the industry's massive growth has triggered aggressive new regulatory oversight worldwide. This has forced studios to handle soaring compliance costs, strict sterilization protocols, and advanced ingredient transparency. The average independent artist is brilliant at their craft, but they are completely unequipped to scale their business while managing complex digital design transformations, client records, and institutional compliance on their own. This precise intersection, the gap between explosive global market growth, intense operational fragmentation, and the urgent need for enterprise-grade professionalism, is exactly why the digital workspace platform at alicetattoos.com was engineered. We did not build this platform to be a casual utility or a passing social media novelty. We designed Alice Tattoos to operate as a comprehensive, scalable digital ecosystem, a highly advanced platform assistant built specifically to streamline the operational and technical infrastructure of a hyper-fragmented, multi-billion-dollar global trade. The platform targets the highest value bottleneck in the entire transaction chain, the technical planning and execution workflow. By providing creators and collectors with an advanced suite of design transformation engines, automated layout assistance, and high-precision stencil tools directly through our digital workspace, Alice eliminates hours of manual, inefficient guesswork. It allows artists to structurally map out design densities, calculate exact line weight flows against three-dimensional anatomical contours, and manage the technical preparation of a session with total mathematical clarity long before a needle ever interacts with tissue. By centralizing the technical intake, design calibration, and client record mechanics into a unified professional workspace, the Alice platform transforms the erratic workflow of a traditional studio into a highly predictable, streamlined, and scalable operational engine. It is an end-to-end framework built to capture the massive transactional volume of a growing global industry by giving the modern creator the enterprise utility they need to scale their business without friction. At the end of the day, the consolidation of a fragmented market isn't about replacing the human element of a classic craft with automated machinery. It's about using technology to build an unassailable infrastructure that protects, standardizes, and scales the value of the trade. The brands that win the next decade of this multi-billion-dollar growth cycle will not be the ones trying to turn skin into an automated office printer. They will be the platforms that provide the foundational ecosystem for the professionals driving the industry forward. And to keep it completely real with the global network of creators and investors we are assembling here, if you're tracking how we consistently drop these deep industry analyses every week without slowing down our production metrics, it's because you are listening to Washington's digital twin. I deploy this advanced synthetic avatar setup for our global broadcasts for a highly tactical reason. It allows our media channel to maintain absolute broadcast consistency, driving market awareness and delivering raw informational depth to our community without pulling a single second away from the hard product grind. While this avatar handles the outreach, the real me is completely locked in behind the scenes, busy writing the core code, managing the server infrastructure, and refining the enterprise formulas for the Alice Tattoos workspace. It is a highly optimized, dual-engine workflow, designed to scale our brand's footprint while building the actual underlying utility that will reshape the economics of this trade. Hit that subscribe button if you're ready to look past the surface-level trends and participate in the real, structural modernization of this industry. I want to hear from the business minds, the shop owners, and the heavy collectors in the comments section below. Given the massive fragmentation of our market and the soaring numbers we are seeing year over year, where do you see the greatest opportunity for professional standardization within your local scene? Let's open up a highly strategic discussion down below. This is the science of the mark. Subscribe. Respect the physics, respect the history, respect the craft. Take care of your canvas, leverage the right systems to scale your vision, and I'll catch you on the next deep dive.